Hi.
Hi. I was just remembering.
So cute on this couch together.
Thank you.
This is like Muppets came to life.
Yeah.
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 You know?
It felt too small at first, and now it feels good.
There was a real moment where we got it, and
Like,
like
wow,
every
this is
comment
very
was like,
close.
"What a small couch."
Yeah.
And I spiraled so fast.
No, I feel good now.
You guys literally look like two Muppets on a stoop. And like at the and like the show, the cartoon's ending, you know what I mean? Or the show's ending.
Yeah.
And like the very last scene, they turn into real people.
Oh, yeah.
And it's you two.
Wait, which Muppet do you guys like the most?
I have no idea. I don't even know what
I was
Muppets
never
are.
a Muppet. We're in our 30s still.
Yeah, okay. Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot the Muppets came around in the 2010s. What do you mean? They've been around for like 50 years forever. Like they didn't go away.
But like the Muppets, like the time that like.
Oh, you never saw Muppet Christmas Carol when you were a
Actually,
child.
I never have.
No, I
actually
haven't.
never have.
Guess what we had?
Was it in black and white?
Rugrats.
Rugrats. That's where
yes.
I'm
Guys,
at.
I had Rugrats in third grade too. I don't understand. Like,
No, we had Rugrats when we were the Tommy Pickles H.
Yeah.
No, you didn't, because I had Rugrats then. So I'm like 4 years older than you. So I had Rugrats. I don't know what you're talking about.
But Muppets weren't like our thing. Like our parents were like.
Were you siblings? What happened? How do you guys know that
Did you
you're
vote for Bush Senior, or was that?
When his son came around, you're like, he can run for president? I remember when he was this big.
Oh.
So you when you sat down, you said, "Is it gross if I put your feet on the couch?" But I remembered. Do you remember the moment we had after I annihilated you in Bert Kreischer's 3K run? Do you remember?
You did.
Do you remember Do you remember after at the like party part?
Yeah.
You I just know you did a snot rocket. You were leaning by a table, like crouched down, and you could see you doing a snot rocket. And it's like, my father, I don't have any judgment of that because my dad does that. I do that.
Yeah.
And he's a horse guy, and I thought maybe that was where it came from.
No, you know what I came
Do you know a snot
from?
rocket we're talking about?
I know what a snot rocket is.
I had three
They
loogies.
had those too when I was growing up.
But they were in black and white.
It was like Charlie Chaplin.
Yeah.
Ooh, right. Women couldn't snot rocket back then.
No,
it was a
no, they
man
couldn't.
dressed up as a woman snotting.
Did
Yeah.
you know that before the 1918 flu, it was more common to spit in a bar? You could just in the bar. But because of the flu, and that became kind of like the COVID equivalent of like, this is uncouth.
Yeah. It wasn't when people would slip on spit and then hit their head and die.
Yeah.
That didn't stop it.
Wait,
But it was the flu.
I always wonder, people, because you'll see people spit on the street.
I did three on the way here. I had
So
three.
you're
loogies.
like a person that like requires that, because I do feel like I see some people. I'm like they clearly need to spit. I'm not someone who needs to
Yeah.
spit often. Does that make sense?
Yeah, well, anywhere else I will find a patch of grass and like a tree, something to hide behind.
Yeah.
But I am a loogie-prone person.
Okay,
I
cool.
just have,
So it's just coming down from the nose.
I've got a chunk of calories
Yeah.
Okay.
that is lodged in my throat. Okay,
Wow.
it's a meal for a rodent. It lodged in my throat,
Oh, that's tough.
and I
Makes you want to throw up.
will
Do it.
dislodge it. I will get rid of it. Lose weight every loogie.
Yeah.
I don't know what my body does it, but I usually in a normal city will find a patch of grass, find a leaf to hide behind, get rid of it. But here
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
doing it. I'm doing
Oh,
it.
especially
I'm not
Lower
even.
East
What's
Side.
the grossest
All
thing you
bets are
do?
off down here.
You do any kind of snot rocket spit?
If I have something in my nose, I'll do maybe like, but it's not, doesn't happen as often as, doesn't feel like I need, like it's something that happens a lot.
My dad.
I'll
I
fart.
didn't realize it was my dad. Oh, I'm not a monster.
I'm not a. I'm a. When I'm
You're
with
very
guys, we have a
secretive-
sketch team.
You're
and it's-
he's a
it's-
very secretive. Well, listen,
I'm a
I think
secretive
we're
farter.
both the most conservative in the group of men in Uncle Function.
Is that the word we should be using? Conservative?
No, but I mean, when it comes to farting,
We're the most Nazis about-
Okay, Chris and Douglas are like, it's too much sometimes. You know, it's like
Yeah,
you
Like,
could
are they stinky?
both.
Yeah, and they're like,
loud.
oh, here we go.
Like ball rattlers.
sorry, boys.
You know, you'll hear like a, you know, like
I loathe that.
Yeah.
My burps are will shatter, will break a window, will move earths. My burps, and I love it. I love the release. if you come into this room though and you burp, I have grounds to murder you.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what that is.
You know what Tova called me out on? I will do sometimes because I'll drink a lot of seltzer, so I get burpy.
Yeah.
And sometimes I do like a,
I
I'll try to
hate
be like,
that.
hey, I don't want this burp to, but I'm just trying to get rid of it.
I
But
hate
Tova's
that.
like, we all
that's burping.
see it,
Yeah,
we
yeah.
all smell
You
it.
can't
Yeah,
dress
yeah,
it
yeah,
up.
yeah.
You can't
I'm
dress
just,
it
like,
up.
shooting it to the side.
Yeah.
That's like silent but deadly, but out of your mouth.
Yeah.
It's like that fart that's like this. You know that fart?
Oh,
That's like
hot.
yes,
Hot.
hot. It is hot. Yes, it is hot. But my dad, I remember. Now that you say this, I remember like driving in the minivan in the subdivision. Drive, no warning. Brake. Roll window down. Gather.
God.
Oh
That's
my
tough.
God.
That's tough for me.
Launches it. Hits a mailbox. Hits a child. Hits a cat.
And he can aim it. He can he's doing it for the sound of the bing.
Yes.
Wow.
But never adjusts it. Rolls the window back up. Drives on.
So you
And
inherited
now
that.
I'm just realizing, oh, that must be where everything started.
Yeah.
Because it was normal. I didn't know anything else. I was just like, that's what fathers do. That's what fathers do to protect us.
Yeah. I learned all my manners from my father.
Yeah.
Well,
Was your father a thinker?
no, he was just alone. You know, when they say if you're alone too much, you just become weirder and weirder. Like he's the full extent of that.
Yeah, we like to tell people that are alone that. Yeah.
But yeah, as you're listening alone on this podcast,
You're getting weirder and weirder.
My father listened to a lot of podcasts. You have this disposition. Is that the word, disposition? Can I say this?
let's see where it's going.
Which you have right here, of that your third child has just come out as gay.
Oh my God.
Really?
You're like this. You're not even disappointed. You're just like
Bored.
You're just like, yeah, just give it to me. Let me just come out with it. Your
I'd
other
be
two
excited.
sisters are gay. You have this like,
Are the other two gay too?
yes,
They're all
all three are
gay.
gay. All three are
wow.
gay.
different genders and
Different
gay.
genders.
But this
Yeah.
one, this is the third one. This one, you were like, not that I don't like being gay, not that I don't like having gay kids, but I thought maybe one would bring home a nice quarterback boyfriend, you know?
Yeah, that's me. I'm like, bring home a nice
Bring-
quarterback,
and,
sweetheart.
and then the third one's like, Papa, I want to talk to you. And you have this like,
I think my
look
kids are going to
about
have to
you.
come out to me as straight.
Yeah.
And
you're
I'll
gonna-
say, I don't believe you.
you're going to be one of the ones
No
that,
son of mine is.
no son of mine's going to be a running back.
Speaking of straight or gay, I started taking dance again.
I saw.
It's not going
What
great.
kind of class is that?
So I did
You're
a ballet
dancing to
class.
Christmas music, correct?
I know. So here's my problem. I want to work out. The reason I haven't done as much
Very
dancing
fit.
is like I want to have a workout, and a lot of the beginner dance classes, which that's all I'm good enough to do on the choreography front. I can move, but like choreo, I forget it.
No, I know, yeah.
It's insane.
Yeah.
So I took like beginner theater because at Broadway Dance Center, like advanced beginner is like professional
Yeah,
level.
yeah, yeah.
What
There's
is-
not a lot.
What is sachet, like what is theater dance? Like I know,
I thought you just asked me like a specific move. You're like, what is
Like-
pas de jazz?
I don't know. Like I know like hip hop's a lot of like,
Theater is more jazz, a little bit of ballet, and then just more like
what's jazz? Jazz music. I don't know jazz move.
not jazz music. How would you describe jazz?
In dance?
Yeah,
I don't know.
But is it related to jazz music at all, or is
No,
it
I
just
don't-
two words
I
for
don't think
different things?
This is all jazz dancing is.
Yeah.
That's a move within it.
It feels like something. It's related to like I don't know, like a jet. Like all I can think of is
pathetic.
like I know. It's like Chicago or like like one
Yeah,
of those
those
musicals.
saucy jazz.
Like
you know,
this.
like
It's a little sassy. Like ballet is very rigid. It's got a very specific vocabulary that's been passed down for generations to generations.
Right.
It doesn't change much.
Position 1, position 2, position 3.
Yes, there's
4,
bars.
5,
Yes.
12. And jazz feels like it's a little more flexible. It's a little more, there's more movement. There's shoulders. I think it's a sex. I feel like jazz is an American dance form where ballet started in Europe. I would guess.
So,
But
but
musical-
does jazz have positions?
Yeah, but you don't do it quite as like formally. But yes, it does have first. You borrow it from ballet. It's not really new. So third position in jazz is third position in ballet.
Oh,
But it's like a little slouchier.
Honestly, we'd be better off talking about vaccines than I think the origin of these dances.
I love you explaining it, and we
like,
are so in the dark.
I'm like, you see, that's the thing that some guys don't have. Where I'm like, I don't know this. I should be honest about
know.
it. Some guys just be like, yeah, let me tell you, jazz.
Yeah.
It's an American. It was so
Leonardo da Vinci started jazz.
So theater is this beginner class. The people there are, they're some of them are very young. They're very hopeful. They're cheery. This is and I have this thing where I'm this mix of like a theater kid and sometimes I'm like rolling my eyes, and it doesn't always match. So I'm getting frustrated because like the workout part of the dance class is super light. There is a long corpse pose giving a speech sequence of just like, ask yourself why you're here today and embrace. And I'm like, I'm going crazy. Time is passing.
Right.
And then finally, the last 30 minutes, we get to the choreo. It was a good teacher. It just wasn't what I wanted. And so she goes, can I get some volunteers? And I go, me thinking maybe this is a little more dance we're going to squeak in there. In this hour and a half class, maybe I can get 5 minutes of dancing in.
Yeah.
And instead, the people she's picking, the song, which was from The Grinch, the musical, has characters speaking at the beginning. So what I have volunteered for is the opening speaker going, everyone knows the Who's and Whoville love Christmas. And I could not be more fucking miserable. Like, and I have to do this 40 times.
Oh my
and everyone else is going like, their lines are like, the Who's, we do love who to get a present who. And they're all doing it full out. And every time it comes to me and I'm like, the Who's and Whoville, da da da.
How long did you sign up for this class? How many weeks?
It's just one, but I'm not going to go back to this one. I want to do it, but I need more of a workout. It's not enough.
Yeah.
I don't understand what we're getting out of it. Is this people that want a future in theater?
Maybe someday, maybe something that I think is hard for me to conceive of.
Or
it's a joy.
They did it
just to feel fun.
Like community theater, and they want to like stay connected to some kind of like artistic thing. But I think, why don't you go back to like your hip hop? Wasn't that more of a?
Sure, I think I'll go back
You're
to
just
it. But
trying to
again,
like
it's just
do
the
a
levels.
different thing.
It's just like the beginner is too easy, and then the advanced beginner is like, I'm an idiot.
Yeah.
And I went to LA, and like they're when they film choreo, they literally, it's all about filming it there.
Yeah.
So they break into groups of 2 or 3, and then you're just standing there and you're going like, I'm not sweating. I need to sweat.
Now you have to be the hype person in the back for the
And
dancer.
I'm not that.
Yo.
I'm not that.
Hear me out.
Yeah.
Have you ever thought about Pure Barre? Have you ever thought about like Pilates?
I don't
Like,
like
do we
it.
need an opening monologue for an exercise group?
Have you ever thought about getting in an ensemble of a Broadway show and just having to do
Yes.
dance 8 times a week?
Have you ever thought about fucking committing?
Did you know that the Broadway Dance Center here, it's next to the strip club? It's a strip club there called For Your Eyes Only, and they're right next to each other. And I always forget until I go back there. Like they're right next to each other.
Is stripping like to theater what like roasting is to stand-up comedy? Like, do they, if they're like, I can't really make it in theater per se, but I'm gonna strip?
I think it's maybe dance to strip. I don't know if it's like, oh fuck, I didn't get the ensemble of Elf the musical. Back to the strip club.
Oh my God.
You know what I'm saying? I can't really figure out how to write a bit, but I'm great at roasting.
Yeah.
Sure. But in a way, I think like you could save a lot of money. Just don't go to the strip club. Just go to the like advanced beginner ballet class.
Yeah.
Sit in the corner.
Are they all hot bods?
No, advanced beginner,
No.
beginner advanced. It's
That very quick no before. No.
the classes that I'm taking are such an eclectic mix of there's like pros just going over the basics. There's 80-year-olds who are like, let's add a couple more
Keep
years
talking.
of movement.
Yeah.
There's me. And I'm an individual entity
The
there.
influencers filming their shit.
I know.
Don't throw in you like you're not doing all your own weird thing there.
They're all putting their cameras there. They're all putting their
So
cameras.
there's all these desperados, and then me, who's in it for the art. I just imagine you're up there doing your Who monologue, and someone's in the back, but you're so
Is
in this
that
wild
TikTok?
element. Yeah. And they're going like, is it him? Because this is so
Yeah.
in a different element. I can't tell if it's him
very
because he's
funny.
never done the Who monologue.
Yeah, surely
on
he
TikTok.
wouldn't take this class. The Who's in Whoville love Christmas the most.
And you're doing it kind of
This is-
frustrated.
The downside.
Wait, we haven't started yet?
We recorded that.
That's.
Don't worry.
Don't worry, that's all recorded.
That was
Can you
warm-up.
imagine that's a warm up?
You're listening to
Honestly,
The
no,
Downside.
it might work. Honestly, sometimes I think if
with
you warm
Gianmarco
up,
Soresi.
Yeah.
and then you're like, you go and fucking swinging.
Good God. That was,
That's just we just play the
Yeah.
intro at some point. You know.
I get it.
It's like a blackout scene in an improv. That's how I view it.
You
You
go,
wait
Oh.
for like a moment. And there was a good moment earlier that you had, but selfish me, I said, I have more thoughts.
Oh.
And
I
then,
get it.
we found it.
I'm enthralled
Um,
at this. I'm enthralled at your beings.
You are?
Yes.
thank you.
Well, we're here. I'm here with my co-host Russell Daniels. We're here with Katherine Blanford. This episode's coming out December 24th.
Great.
Christmas
You know,
Eve.
Christmas
I
Eve. That's
really
very perfect.
The
want
Who.
you. Oh, is this Christmas Eve?
Christmas Eve.
Christmas Eve.
Can I have a Christmas wish just sitting here this far apart with
Yeah.
you guys? One day, I need you to score, what's her face? God, Drew Barrymore as a guest.
Oh,
hear
yeah?
Hear me out. And she has to sit on this couch and imagine how much it would kill her to not touch you. Like, imagine her being
Oh.
this far away, but still on a comfy couch. And, like, the whole time she'd be like, so,
I would
tell
say
me."
Drew, when she says, where should I sit? We go right here.
I love imagining the world where we get Drew Barrymore, but we're still in this studio.
How fun.
No. This is
Busy
great.
Phillips. I would
That's
consider
true.
Busy
That's
Phillips
true.
and Drew
That's true.
Barrymore on
But
similar levels.
they're very. Yeah, that's
Did you
actually
have
true.
Busy Phillips in here?
Busy
Yeah, because I
Was
saw her
she-
cry backstage.
Was she reaching? What?
No.
She was
She was back.
Yeah. She had her hand on the doorknob the whole time. Like, how much longer? How much longer? Catherine, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
We did do the 3K together.
Oh yeah, in LA. How was
Yeah.
that?
Dude,
How many people did that?
It was a lot. It
It's
was
all
like
comics.
fun. We were behind, what's his face? Travis Barker.
Travis Barker from Blink 182 was
Wow.
there.
Oh, so it wasn't just comics, or was it all
It was like comics and like
and
Bert
Blink-182?
Kreischer's and Tom Segura's like fan base.
Oh, okay.
You know what it felt like?
So it wasn't the most competitive 3K
Yeah.
of all time.
It was like, you know when a plane crashes and then you just have like a mix of people on an island?
Like Lost, yeah.
kind of that. It was
Yeah.
those people.
Yeah. But you did track and field.
Yeah, that was my sport, was cross country. And
That has to be the most boring. I would see those kids doing track and field, and I said, no chance. Could I do that as my sport? I'd be so bored.
No, I'm going to kickball and change it.
Yeah.
I did track and field. But I threw, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd see you and be like,
throwing counts.
Shot put, yeah.
Well, you
What
could.
do you mean counts? Like,
When I think track and field, I think about the track more than the field.
well, there are field elements. I mean, I only did because the football coach was also the track and field coach, and like a lot of like it was like
just say you're homeschooled.
You would no, but it was like a way like some of the football players did it. So you'd like because you just go to the weight room, weight lift, and then like and then
How strong were you?
I went to like sectionals one year, but I wasn't good at.
Sectionals is what they called it?
Yeah, but it's like
What
the
did you
thing
do?
before
Were you-
states.
Were you
or-
competing in a furniture store?
I don't know.
I've
I think
never-
it was called sectionals. Maybe I'm making that up.
What's
but
the move? Is it one move? Do you do a spin? Did you do the little?
I could. I tried. I couldn't do the spin.
When you do you
You had to do the spin with the
Too
discus, but
gay?
I wasn't that great with the discus. I was better at the shot.
So you run up and
Just throw.
why do they put it here? Why don't they put it like down here?
No idea. No one taught me. It was not a passion by anyone. It was like something to do when I wasn't playing football.
is that how you think
love
it was
that.
created?
You'd
Like
go
they had-
every day. You'd go and you would run 2 miles, do some stretching, and then you'd either go to the weight room for like 45 minutes to an hour and then throw, or you'd just doing some throwing stuff. So it was so easy. Do you know what I mean? It was like just a way to like do some workout.
I just feel like how these sports started like in the Greek days. That
Yeah.
they were like the runners. And then there's some guy like, what do I do?
What
And
do I
they're
do?
like,
He's
you see
just a
that
big-
big rock over
big
there?
monkey man,
Just
yeah.
you throw it.
like yeah.
Hey, so that's what I do.
Yeah.
I'm very good at that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Um,
I loved because I ran track and it was fun because that was my only sport because that was the only thing I was good at. And then I would see people who were good at 8 other sports and they'd be like, and I also do yours. And I was
Yeah.
like, okay, well, why don't you just let me have this one?
At
But I
your
don't-
prime, could you have beaten me?
No.
Really?
I
There's
like
no way.
Were you running fast or long?
like beat you
At
now.
the 3K, yeah.
Honestly, I think I was faster at the 5K, because I say this, I hadn't ran in so long, and when you're really fast when you haven't run you haven't ran for a long time, and then you run for the first time, you're really fast because you don't have the PTSD. You don't remember how it hurts, so you get out really fast and you just kill yourself, and then you're done. But then you go, and then you hurt afterwards. And then the next time you run, you're like, I don't want to feel like that again. And you pull back.
I
a
was
little
in
bit.
pain. I got burnt. I was in pain. I don't think I could ever do a marathon. I think ankle would twist.
Yeah.
My body's not made for
Can
it.
we say that it's not really that healthy?
To do a marathon.
No.
I'm always confused at like how people have time to train for it, because you have to be able to like at some point have hours and hours a day like leading up to it to train for it. And I'm like, that's crazy to imagine like, oh, I just have 4 hours multiple times a week or 3 hours. I guess people are faster than me, but like, but like that's a lot of hours.
I gotta run 3 miles. I don't got 18 hours to kill today.
No, you
Who's
have to
got the time?
You
You
got to
lazy
lead
son of
up
a
to
guns?
26 miles. You got to like, I have to imagine you have to at least run like 22 miles at one point leading up to it. And that's going to take some time.
I can relate to just needing a fucking goal. Just some point. I think I'm hitting it at that point in my life where I'm like, I just need a goddamn goal that I can win.
Yeah.
But imagine the psychopaths that your brain is just like empty, or you're just enjoying trees for 22 miles.
Well,
There's a
listen to
comedian
things,
that does
right?
ultra marathon running. He does like
Who?
50 miles.
Oh my God.
I mean, like ultra marathon is like, I think what happens, you get so high, you just get high, essentially.
Like physically high?
Oh yeah, like runner's high.
I don't.
That's what they always told you as a kid. They're like, wait till that runner's high hits, and you're like, where's the fucking?
Yeah, it is hard because you're like, even when you run, you're like, what? Like after an hour, you're like, there's not content that I want to keep listening to, or like, you run out of things.
There's nothing.
Should do
I'm
that.
so ready to move on.
I want to see someone. I will. I don't know. Pay for your shoes for someone who does a whole marathon listening to The Downside.
Yeah.
The slowest.
What a low thing
marathon.
to offer them. I'll pay for your shoes.
They go, it was the slowest 5K I've ever ran.
Or the fastest. They just want to get done with it. Yeah.
This one we ran, though, was so funny. It was in the middle of the festival, in the middle of LA spring. Was it spring? Kind of? Summer,
What was
spring?
Netflix? It was. You were there for part of it.
April or something? Or
April.
May.
April, May, all concrete. Not a dash of ground or dirt or grass to run on.
Oh,
yeah.
All concrete. And a lot of these people were, let's say it, cruise ship people.
Yeah.
And
You can say it. Listen, this is you perform for these people.
Okay, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm saying? Like we're going to family Thanksgiving at Golden Corral.
Yeah. So
running
funny,
this 5K.
smart, interesting.
Multifaceted,
Yeah. Cultured.
You're from Kentucky, though. I feel like I'm more hesitant to label big swaths.
Yeah.
But you're from Kentucky, and I think that gives you. I did a radio show recently, and I was like making fun of. It was a joke about someone in Chattanooga, Tennessee, and he said, "There's that New York arrogance," and I was like,
Oh.
"Suck it in,
Yeah.
suck it in, let it go."
Yeah.
But you're from Kentucky.
I'm from Kentucky, so I can make fun of. But there's different Southerns to make fun of. I know that.
What are the
Yeah.
groups?
Like, but
What are you?
I'm not very Southern. I'll say this. I'm a redneck, not white trash.
What's the difference
Okay.
between redneck and white trash?
Yeah, there's a difference.
What is it?
Like redneck is like flannel, right? Flannel and drinking like moonshine or bourbon with your friends on a mountain.
Okay, that does sound like Kentucky. Yeah.
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 White
Racist?
trash. Yeah, can be.
Okay.
I'm not saying I am. I'm saying, but I'm doing overall.
Yeah.
Racist, but gay. I'm just
Racist
kidding.
but gay.
This
Okay.
is gay. White trash is I give my 14-year-old daughter a gun for her birthday. I wear long t-shirts.
So redneck doesn't give their kid a gun?
They give them a shotgun. White trash
These
is
are very nuanced differences.
white trash
different
is a
kind of
pistol.
rifles.
White trash is a pistol. We're gonna do white trash. We're gonna do pistols. We're gonna
Is redneck using that gun for hunting, and white trash is
Yes.
using that gun for protection someday?
Yes,
Oh,
100%.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
I'm trusting you on this because I do not know.
I'm like going like, what's white trash? White trash is like, can you say this word? Can you say
Oh no.
say-
You can say that
Oh
word.
yeah.
Yeah.
I know.
you say that? You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah,
I know what you are,
With
yeah.
the W.
Yeah.
It makes me
You're
very
allowed to-
scared to say
It's
it.
No,
the
I know.
N-word with the W.
Yeah, that was people. I grew up upstate New York, which has its own
Right,
things.
but it's
and that was a term people would use.
yeah.
for
But
people.
it's like that mixed with country is what white trash is.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Okay, hold up. Okay, so that mixed with country is what white trash is.
Yes, like you've got a pickup truck that you play rap music in.
Oh, interesting.
Is trailer park more redneck or white trash?
White trash.
White trash.
Okay. Where does redneck live?
Redneck lives in like a farmhouse
Okay.
or a cabin.
So redneck's more horse related?
Yes.
Okay.
Very much. White trash is dirt bikes.
Yeah.
Which is
Wha-
more Trumpy?
They're both very
both pretty Trumpy.
They're both Trump. That
Would
was
they
a trick
judge each
question.
other?
Yeah.
Would they go like, get out of here, white trash? Fuck you, you redneck. Like, is there a Sharks and Jet?
Yeah,
element to
you
this?
could be wealthy and be redneck.
Could there be a Romeo and Juliet?
Yes. Yeah. I know
Oh,
what
you
mean.
could be wealthy.
I know
And
what
be
you mean.
redneck.
Yeah.
White trash is
There's a lot
poverty.
of wealthy rednecks.
Yes.
Well, Jeff Foxworthy is the one that comes to
Yes.
mind.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
But like there is like a thing of that. Like they're almost like cosplaying, like being like sometimes like you know what I mean. Like there is a
Or it's been going on for so long that
Yeah,
they
yeah.
can. They're not even cosplaying. They grew up with that, but now they have money.
No, yeah, or they just always had money. There's
Yes.
also like old wealth stuff that happens. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
I feel like redneck is more like traditional Americana. Like I'm just thinking about. I did a Zoom with Jeff Foxworthy once, and he had baseballs. Like he loves baseball.
Yes.
And that feels more rednecky. I feel like white trash.
Here, yes. Here, I got it.
Okay.
Redneck is tradition. White trash is we got something to prove.
Okay.
okay.
Is Eminem 8 Mile? Is that white trash?
That's white,
White
trash.
trash.
White
Yeah.
trash. Okay,
A lot
let's
of my
come on.
family. A lot
Can
of
you
my
look
family
up
come
difference
bring-
between redneck and white trash? I want to see if we got it right. I mean, we it's kind of a flexible definition.
It is, but I'm saying there's a lot of different
Kid
rednecks.
Rock.
There's a lot of white trash.
White trash. Yeah.
There's no redneck in Kid Rock?
No,
I don't think
absolutely
so.
not.
No, like he's yeah.
At all. Redneck is Willie
According
Nelson.
to Reddit, it says white trash are trashy white people that can live anywhere in America, rural or urban.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, rednecks are working class white people who live in rural areas. They may be farmers, miners, oiler hands, etc. And then it also brings in hillbillies, which is another element of the
Yeah.
conversation.
Oh.
That is a Venn diagram.
What the fuck
right
is
there.
what's hillbilly then?
Hillbilly is the people of the mountains. They there is meth in the cornbread.
JD Vance.
Hillbillies are
Yes.
hillbillies are mystical. They believe in a lot of hillbilly voodoo.
They
voodoo
commonly
kinda-
live in hollers or
Yes.
mountain valleys with
hollers,
Scottish
yeah.
or Irish ancestors.
Yeah, they got a lot of folk tales. The hillbillies.
But do they? I feel like they all vote for the same guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like, do they get along otherwise, or do they have fights? Is there beef? Is there like, oh my god, you see that trailer moved in the neighborhood recently? Get that white trash out of here.
I have all three of those in my family.
Okay.
Like your dad can be a redneck and you're white trash.
So what do you
Son.
most identify with? Is there like a birthright of it? Like, oh yeah, you can go to the Appalachia, but only
I
if
don't
your
know if
dad is
people
white trash.
people think of it like that, but it's like yeah, I don't know.
I identify as redneck. If I was to lean one, I would lean redneck. I don't think redneck is bad. I think people, when they say redneck and they mean bad, they're talking about white trash.
When I was a kid, I remember when redneck felt like more of an insult. I feel like that was one when I was a kid that was more of an insult, and now it's just a regular
yeah,
thing.
Yeah.
because Beyonce came out with Cowboy Carter, and then country came back, and now people are like, I'm gonna put out a redneck album.
Can you look up best you might be a redneck?
Joke.
Because he has a lot of them.
Yeah.
I tried my own version of you might be a theater kid.
What was it?
Where like if you know how many minutes there are in a year, you might be a theater kid.
Oh.
You've ever
good.
made the staff at Denny's want to kill themselves at 2 a.m.
Yeah, that's good.
You might be a theater kid or a redneck.
We explain theater kids and Denny's at 2 a.m. Are they singing?
So you got theater kids, you got opera boys, you got dancer. Can I say it's the F word but with a W? It's a joke.
Oh my God. I was like, what?
A Wagyu sauce?
No, theater kids.
After the musicals that they would do in high school, you'd usually go to a Denny's.
Oh, and that's
To,
where
like-
you would
Yeah.
decompress and flirt.
And, like-
and
But then ultimately
sing.
what we're known for is like we end up doing a big song and dance and you all
That wasn't happening in mine. But
neither for me, but
Yeah.
for some people. I remember being in the subway and being like, let's all sing The Lion King on this train.
Oh, F off.
Wait,
oh,
when?
You guys are getting off at the next
In
stop.
high school.
you were on the. That is wild.
La Vie Boheme. That's what La Vie Boheme is. You know Rent?
Do
They're at a
you-
restaurant.
Do you know Rand? No, I'm redneck.
Sure, we could talk Oklahoma. Come on
Oh
there.
yes, I did. I did audition in Oklahoma to be. Isn't there a little girl in Oklahoma? Yeah, she's a little girl, right? She's a little girl in the beginning.
What's the
I don't remember.
line? What's the
I
song?
don't know. I remember I auditioned for something, and I certainly didn't get it. And then I auditioned for the smallest girl, Greta, and Sound of Music, and didn't get it
Oh,
either. And
wow.
I've
then you quit.
done.
You were like-
I read it
Yeah,
from my
yeah.
mind ever since. So no, I don't know.
Was this
Rent.
in school?
Okay,
Yeah,
you got
yeah,
Yeah.
grade school.
You might be a redneck if you ever cut your grass and find a car.
Okay.
That's good.
If your son comes to your 8th grade graduation, you might be a redneck.
Oh, that's
God.
Oh my
that one.
God.
That one was dark.
But that feels white trash. That feels hillbilly.
Yeah.
If you divorce your wife and still call her sis, you might be a redneck.
That
Yeah.
That was
They're all more or less variations.
I went to
on this.
Kentucky recently. You know what my stepdad sent me? This is East Coast elitism.
Yes.
He sent me like, here's a joke. Here's a joke you can use at your shows. It's a classic. How do you know that a toothbrush was invented in Kentucky?
tooth. It would be called a teeth brush.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
You get it?
Yeah, I got it. Yeah.
Yeah, I started comedy in Atlanta, and people would come to Atlanta and say, and they would have this like before they even started their set, they would have this kind of like alluding to, oh, I have to dull this down for you guys, or I might not be able to say certain things I want to say because of you guys, and it was like the crowd was already pissed off at that point because it's just like try it first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also, you're in Atlanta. You're not in Georgia.
right.
You're in Atlanta. So
Sure.
so there's still like pockets of that everywhere. So it's like there's like you go to Huntsville, Alabama, you think you're in Huntsville, you think you're in Alabama, but it's a NASA, there's like a NASA station in Huntsville,
Yeah.
Alabama. There's
Yeah.
very smart, educated, cultured people in there. There's these little pockets everywhere. And so they get annoyed when you assume that you have to dole down shit for them. And you're like, "No, we're in a safe spot. Go for it here."
Do you ever feel, because you live in LA now? Oh my God, that's okay. That's the Undertaker. Honestly, I like him falling down every
Yeah.
episode.
Every
now.
episode, we just knock
He's a
him
fucking.
down.
He's a
Every
goddamn-
episode?
Well, the Undertaker, he was like a wrestler that I liked, and then he became like a big Trump guy and like a weird Jesus guy.
Really?
He went. He was. There's a video of him on the WWE stage, and he's like, "I need to thank the thing that has seen me through all these years, Jesus H Christ." I'm like, your character is the living dead. Shut the fuck up. Stay in
Absolutely.
character.
Yeah.
I never understand. I get starting with God. I never understand not starting with God and then going to God later.
Well, because people get scared, or like.
But listen, I'm scared.
Yeah.
I just, even if I hit fucking rock bottom and I found something, a community, it would never be God.
I
Yeah.
know. I'm like, God works when the doors haven't been opened and the curtain hasn't been lifted. God
Sure.
never works the older you get and the more shit you see.
Well, you wonder with those people, like, did they get so low they said to themselves, okay, you're going to lie to yourself and you're just going to hold on for dear life to that. You're going to yank those curtains back down.
You're about to crash. Like
Yeah.
they're at the point in their life where they're about to, when you're about to crash and you're like, Lord, if I survive this cat crash, I swear I'll go to church every Sunday, blah, 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 blah. But are they like at that point in their lives where they're just, something so effed up has happened?
I had that. I think I had that moment maybe during the election. How pathetic is that? Where there was just, I'm not saying I went all the way. I didn't go like, dear God. I was just like, please,
Yeah.
please, not 4 more years.
Yeah.
I imagine guys just being like, what's that?
What's
that? Gianmarco, who the fuck is this?
What's that?
Please change the election for you?
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up. We got a lot more prayers of the other way around. We're going by the popular vote.
You might have screwed us, actually, by going
What
to
was the last time you prayed?
God.
Right now?
Just God? I probably, maybe 10 years. I went to Catholic all the way through, all girls Catholic high school, Catholic grade school, kindergarten through 8th grade.
Did you believe it then? Were there moments?
It's so weird. I don't know. I didn't really even believe it then, but like I do have like the Catholicness will like seep into like I'm on stage and I'm like, oh, this is like when Mary was on the donkey headed to Bethlehem or something. Like there's these like weird like lessons and everything that will sneak into my brain.
So that's how you do
I don't
like,
even believe it, but it's like
when you go to you're on the subway and it stops. That's like you're riding the donkey to Bethlehem, and you're like the 3 wise men are getting there soon. We gotta hurry.
It's so wild, and like I will attribute things to a lesson I learned in the Bible. Like, oh, if you're loyal, like Abraham was to God, you will see the fruits of your loyalty later in life. You just have to hang on to it. Like, I still, even though I don't believe in like the God thing, I still kind of believe in those lessons. Is that
What's the
weird?
lesson again? Tell me. No, if it's a good lesson.
Yeah, I think it's like the lessons.
I remember when I was a kid reading about if a man lies with another man like a woman, he'll turn into a pillar of salt, and that's just a lesson I hang on to. Just, when I'm feeling down.
Now,
Is that the real lesson? Is that a real thing?
I thought it was like a man shall not lie with another man as...
He turns into a what? A big pile of
that's
salt?
the pillar of salt that I'm hung up on.
Yeah.
Can we, I'm like...
Like stone?
Wait, I'm not making this up. This is, someone made it up. I'm just quoting them on it.
like literally,
I'm
like
not
you're
making
like
this up. This is real.
This is real.
You kiss a man and then all of a sudden...
No, it was,
and then just...
I thought
No
there's
lie.
like one passage that like all the homophobes, they like hang everything on, and it was the one city of... Like, you know.
Then why are we not like...
What's the city? Can you look pillar of salt?
Why are there not like fountains of salt raining down in gay clubs?
Google
like,
man lying with another man.
I
This
think
should
the
be-
pillar of salt is cheating. I think the gay thing's something else.
You combined
Oh,
two
because
things.
I was like, why
It
is this
says-
not the spice of the gays?
Sure. I would love it if there was a gay club called Pillar of Salt.
But
What's
no,
that
so
city
it's
called?
cheating with your neighbor's wife or something.
Yeah, something like that.
What's the city called though, where all the sex is happening?
Rome.
No,
Ibiza.
it's famous.
Vatican.
Sodom and Gomorrah.
Sodom and Gomorrah.
Yeah.
Imagine if your
Oh,
city was
Sodom and
named like anal and rim jobs. You're like, what goes on at this city?
And a kid comes from out of it, and their face is a butthole.
What do you remember? Because we were not raised religiously.
You guys
so
weren't?
so
No.
tell me about. Is there any part of it that enjoyed the structure of religion? Like it gave you some framework in life?
It was. It's almost like it was like, therapeutic. Like I still will enjoy sitting in mass and just hearing the music and the like kind of monotony of like, here is the man that says the words, and then we stand and we sing. Like there's something kind of, I don't know, like sitting and doing a tradition it's like meditative.
That's so interesting.
When you see Jesus, do you feel, is there anything of like you see a Jesus painting and you go, there's some part of you that goes, that's beautiful.
Yeah, actually, it's so weird. I don't even believe in it, but like I was just in Paris, and we went to one of the big cathedrals there, and we were walking around, and I was like, oh, I know the story of this saint, I know the story of this saint, I know the story of this saint, and it did give me like a really, there was like a really warming, heartfelt feeling in my body, but then I also am like, I remember all my family like gaslighting you or shaming you in the name of some Catholic.
What would they shame you about?
I mean, like homosexuality or
What would they say?
Nothing like not to me, but like it in general, like your parents talking or something
Yeah.
like that. Like I have like an aunt I love, right, and she's like, posting things on Facebook about how she hopes her loved ones will fix their ways in the name of Jesus, and I'm like, you're such a good person.
Yeah.
Yes.
Why are you
Yeah.
hiding behind this silly thing that if you did any research, it would take you 10 minutes of research, you would learn that way back when the homosexuality was because they needed Catholic power was in numbers and in land and in money, right?
Yeah.
So they were like, oh, okay, if a man to produce children, he has to be with a woman. To control one woman, they have to, who has just children with him, then you have to make homosexuality illegal, and you have to make people monogamous. And then they will create a lot of children, and then those children will help labor the land, and now all of a sudden we have a lot of followers who have land and money, and Christianity and Catholicism grows. Whatever.
What do you think
it
they
takes
get?
10 minutes
Yeah.
to do research
But
and
of course,
understand why.
even if you told her that, I mean, I imagine it wouldn't sway anything.
No.
What do you think? What do you think she's getting out of it? Is it just like in order to maintain the structure, you need to like really? For me, sometimes I wonder. Like, faith is so slippery. You can lose faith. You can feel skeptical. And so what people do is they pick, oh, we don't like this, or this is bad. And that is the thing you can grip with all your might as you feel every other thing in the world, doubt, sadness, depression. You can go like, but this is bad. And that's why those things, because it's not about the logic.
No, it's
You're
not
right.
about the logic. It's about a black and white thing of going, they say if I do this, I'm right. So if I do that, I feel good about myself, and I don't have to I'm not doing critical thinking for myself.
Yeah.
A higher power, quote unquote, is telling me what's right, and now I have no reason to doubt or question. I just listen to that. I do what that is, and there is no scariness.
Yeah.
You know, you're just, this is what's saying what's right. I go do that, and now I
There's
don't have to question
certainty.
if I'm,
You ever fight with your aunts?
I think
No,
that what's
it's
hard about it
pointless.
is that you'll see those people in your family, and in real life, you're like, you're the sweetest person
Yeah.
I've ever met. I've never heard you actually sometimes say something like hateful or mean, and then you'll see the Facebook thing, and you're like, what is this?
Right.
That is not who you are. Like,
Yeah.
I don't believe that's who you are, but it is. It's a facet of you.
Or they might be nice to their gay neighbor, but they'll still vote for the person that
or
will
they
hurt
have
that
like,
person.
or they have
Yeah.
like a combined
roundabout
count
way.
with their husband. Like sometimes it's like that weird thing too. You're like, who is this? Is this the?
Sure.
I'm
I
going
just
with
wish,
it, but like
when
yeah.
I did a tour of the Vatican, luckily I got like a walking tour guide who was like, told the truth. And he was just like, this is a statue of like a 13-year-old boy. This was the Pope's fuck boy. And there was some Pope that died because whatever fuck boy he picked fucked him so hard he died from internal bleeding.
Oh
and
my
you're just like,
God.
and it's like the statue right outside the thing.
Yeah.
And you're like,
Yeah.
how do people not go, that everything that you're doing right now is just, as you said, it was like an earlier thing.
Yeah.
It's the same
Well,
with
especially-
like Jews and bacon and the hands, the washing of
But
the hands.
I, especially with Catholicism, because I can see how like more modern religions try to trick people. They have a fancy band, they get like a dynamic preacher. Like there's like
Yeah.
little tricks along the way religion
You're
has
like-
come up with to be like, oh, this is cool actually and fun.
They trick him with a beat.
Yeah, but like whenever I go to like a Catholic service, I'm like, oh my God. For me, like growing up with none of the stuff,
Yes.
it's so boring and stale and feels like cultish because it's dead behind the eyes. It's you're always seeing a priest that you're like, this is such an uncharismatic
Old,
person,
out of touch.
old, out of touch, just kind of doing the same routine they've done.
and they have language. My stepfather's mom, the funeral was a Catholic funeral, and all the language was like, and we remember the one true God.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yes.
it's this thing where you're like, this was written when there were 10 other gods, and it was like a competition, and you constantly had to be like, it was Game of Thrones. Because
Yeah.
Game of
Yes.
Thrones, they always had to be
Yeah.
like the one true God, no,
Yeah.
our true God, because there were different competing things. And I was like, can you talk about my fucking grandma for like 2 goddamn seconds?
Yeah.
Instead, you give me a card
Oh.
of an old white guy with a big hat, and it's like, this is the saint of the day she died on. Read about the saint.
Yeah.
I'm like, fuck the saint.
It's not individualism. It's not about your heart. It's all about feeding the
church.
the Trinity or whatever else. But it's like it takes, because shame on you for making this about yourself.
Yeah.
This is good when it's like strict and tradition and slow and like, you know, whatever script they say, you buy into that. If there's any like jazziness to it or whatever else, that's like a deviation from tradition, and then that's scary.
See, and that's why I feel like anytime I've been there, I get so uncomfortable because it is the thing of like there is no like jazz passionate behind, and the people sitting there are reciting it without any sort of thing, and you feel like, oh, we're just going through this to go through it to like do the checklist.
Yes.
And that's so scary to be like, oh, there's no thinking happening here.
Yeah.
There's just like autopilot, like
No critical thinking.
No.
Just like like numb yourself into submission.
Yeah.
Is kind of what
Yeah.
Catholicism
Were
is.
you in religion class like going like, wait a second, why does this?
Well, you know what? It was actually really cool. I loved my high school. You have religion, but especially in grade school, and then in high school, I went to. It was called Assumption High School. It was an all-girls Catholic high school, but for whatever reason, like I had like freshman year, we had like a self-esteem class, and then we had.
What do you do that? What?
Dude, I don't know. My brothers would make fun of me. They'd be like, "Did you learn how to color within the lines today?" But it was just,
That's
and then
some fucking guys. It's like, how was your lacrosse practice? You bat the stick with the ball today?
Yeah.
Fucking jackass.
And with senior year, we had a class about the 7 habits of highly effective teens. The whole class right before we go to college. But it was a really cool high school because they genuinely were. It was not like we didn't even have mass. We had like church, which they would come and we would sing songs, and then there would be like a homily, but we never did Eucharist or anything like that.
Yeah.
There was a lot of Jewish kids in our school. And the one religion class sophomore year, I remember our teacher, she was so dope. It was about women in the Bible. And she literally honed in on like why there wasn't women in the Bible and why the women in the Bible were represented in certain ways, how they were all like lesser than. You know, like unholy of, like, and had to change their ways, etc. Everything, and why men were the only ones that wrote of the Bible, and she was like kind of reversed everything, and was going back to the beginning of Catholicism and why, you know, things were preached the way they were.
Was she doing it in a way of like, ask questions, ladies?
Yes, very much. It was so
That's
dope.
cool.
It was like
It's cool. It's just kind of it's surprising that
Yeah.
the school, like that's the teacher that they drag out, and she goes, read the.
Yeah. I don't know. It was like, I don't know if it was happening. There's 4 all-girls Catholic high schools that were pretty prominent in Louisville, Kentucky. But I think it was like, I think she was like, this is my chance to like get behind the curtain, you know what I mean? And show
Yeah.
these people. It
Do
was
you
dope.
like? I have a natural. I imagine you tell me if you feel the same. Where I'm going, like all gender schools feel antiquated to me. Did you like it?
I loved it. You want to know why? Because you were celebrated for being weird and entertaining instead of playing small to be liked by the opposite sex.
Yeah.
It was so cool. It was so freeing.
I would have enjoyed going to an all-girls high school.
I imagine
but I truly
girls
mean
like
that.
it more than we would like being at all boys.
Yeah, but think about it. I mean, and then all the guys are just rambunctious and being like funny and rowdy with each other. Like
That doesn't sound fun to me. By the way,
does not sound fun to
neither of
us,
us would have
yeah.
thrived in this
You
environment.
would have been hiding on your couch.
But that-
I mean,
that's-
it depends. It just depends. You would find your people and that kind of thing. You do, but like I do think that it sounds kind of like a nightmare to me.
I think it's, to me, I understand why it's a convenient separation, and then I go one of the reasons there's a lot of like talking about ideology today is like there are people who go, that separation doesn't make us feel good. I would have preferred to be the weird
Yes.
thing, and was it a culture shock at all that you went from that to then boom, college, and there's boys there everywhere? I mean, were there skills that you need? I don't know.
I was fine. I mean, I had boyfriends all of high school, and they would come over right after school.
It's more
so
about
it
the
was
boys
fine.
that I go like, you guys cannot be reinforcing each other here.
No,
That's
I
the
think-
part where I go, that's the problem.
Boys.
I genuinely think it helped you form into a more whole person. in those formative years.
Yeah.
So then I got to college and I was like, no, I don't like that. No, I'm not gonna.
Yeah.
I don't like how you are. You're like the quintessential like cool guy, the rich frat guy, but you're actually an asshole.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
would watch my friends like fawn over him.
Sure.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I think I was like, because you were praised for like, like forming your person and forming your thoughts and your opinions, and you weren't like shunned for being something other than like a submissive, quiet, cute girl.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
So I think I literally went from all girls Catholic high school straight. I went to the University of South Carolina, SEC, frat school, in a sorority. Was like had so many friends like immediately. Like everybody I went to school with was all in public schools with guys, and like I'm sure I was the weirder one because I think I had like I wasn't afraid to be like a little bit more outspoken.
About what things?
Anything like about saying like that guy's an asshole. He's like or maybe like more not quintessential like cute girl that likes these clothes and this hair and everything else. And I was like, I like Kentucky men's basketball.
Yeah.
So I think they always kind of looked at me like I was a little bit weirder, but I see no downside in that.
So you think if you had kids, you'd send them to that?
I would do all girls. I don't know if I necessarily would do a like religious school. I would if I could avoid that. But yeah, I credit like where I am today and like being a comic and going after what's not a traditional lifestyle, probably because I went to an all girls Catholic high school and was celebrated for doing shit that you were good at and seeked, and that was outside the norm.
I mean, for where I grew up, the all-boys school, and my brother went to one. It was Landon and Georgetown Prep, where your favorite Supreme Court Justice Kavanaugh went.
Yes.
And there was always like some big physical altercation. Someone hit another guy with a chair at the dance because he stole the girlfriend. And they always wore suits. They had uniforms. Did you have uniforms?
Mm-hmm. But here was the cool thing, though. That's where, when I did get to college, I was like, why is everyone dressing up for class? Why are you guys waking up and doing makeup and hair? Because we went to all girls high school. You had this, you got a ketchup stain on your shirt on Monday. It was there on Friday because there was no one to impress. People would go.
Everyone at guys' schools just walking around with cum stains on their pants all week long.
Absolutely. It's a competition to see how stiff your pants can get. At the end, they crack on Friday. But like, if you wore makeup, people would come up to you and go, "Why are you wearing makeup? Who are you trying to impress? Are you gay?" That was a thing they said in school. You didn't wear makeup. You didn't do your hair because you were. If you did, you were the try-hard girl.
Tell that's the right kind of toxicity, or like
it was
you
a
put on
backwards.
makeup. What are you trying
gay?
to? You a carpet muncher? Put all that makeup on. See, the same thing with guys. I think those guys' schools. That's where all the rumors of like, I think there's so much horniness that they did like. That's where Ookie Gookie Cookie. Did you ever hear that?
No.
What's
That was like a rumor where at these guys' schools, like their version of a party or whatever is you'd get a cookie and you'd all start beating off, and the last one to come on the cookie had to eat it.
Oh my God.
You never heard of Ookie Gookie
guys
Cookie?
Obsessed with, I don't understand this, like jacking off in front of each other. Like when you started watching porn, you were in the room with other
I wouldn't
guys.
say we're obsessed with it.
You're jacking off on a cookie together. You're in a
I meant to ask you, what are you doing right after this? We got those chocolate cookies.
Dude, to all aim at one cookie, your dicks are touching, or close
Is
to
it
it.
real, or is it one of those like urban legend kind of things?
I feel like it must have happened once, even if
Must
it was
have
an urban
happened
legend,
once,
and
yeah.
some guy said, "Let's do it."
Yeah.
I
It
definitely feel like
happened
it's
at an SAE house somewhere, hazing wise.
It's one of those things where then later those guys, they're all out of the closet and they're happy and they're like, "Yeah, we should have known. I should have known when I ate the cum covered cookie. Maybe I wasn't like all the other guys."
I should have known when I held back, so I definitely came last.
But I think the beauty of
I
that
should have
game.
known I was imagining my grandma, so I wouldn't come.
Yeah.
I think the beauty of the game, though, is that
Tell us.
if you're into all the guys jerking off, you come quick. So whoever eats it probably wants it the least.
Oh,
Wow.
wow.
That is psychological.
Cookie, cookie, cookie.
Ookie googie.
I can't even say it. How do you say it?
You didn't have anything like you didn't have not that. I'm not saying I don't know.
You
if
didn't have anything like that.
Would be a wafer. Would be a wafer.
Let me think about my self-esteem class.
Moisty oisty wafer. But was there like
Nacho taco?
a prank
Oh, okay,
thing?
yeah.
Like we did. There was. I remember always the rumor. There was the idea of, God, rainbow parties.
Yeah.
Do you remember rainbow parties?
Yeah, there was
No.
always like this girl
Rainbow
participated in a
rainbow party was like you'd go to a party, and all the girls they would all get a different color lipstick, and
Oh, I heard about this. Okay.
and then maybe it was that or like someone would get everyone give them a blowjob. It was one of these things as a kid. You're like, these are real. How do I go to the party? Because when I go there, everyone wants to blow me. Yeah. What is this magic?
Also, none of it's good. Like, imagine like 16-year-old girls like giving blowjobs. The guys are like,
no, I won't.
no.
I refuse.
no, you imagine that.
You never had any like a rumor of like, oh, this was the thing, or this party, or this was the.
No, I grew up in the 1800s. I mean, no, it was no.
So where are your Muppets coming?
There. I don't remember things like there were not things like that growing like urban myths. I mean, I was a small town though, so it's not like this big, this big city kind of thing happening. I don't think.
Would you say your small town is redneck, white trash, or
Where were you?
hillbilly?
Upstate New York, it's like 30 minutes from Binghamton.
I call you a hillbilly if I had to pick one.
No, hillbilly. No. I would say it is a mix of. I don't know. I mean, it's like a very working class. A lot of people are in teaching or like medical. A lot of nurses,
Yeah.
a lot of teachers. There's some corporations that are there that kind of run things. But yeah, I think redneck, white trash.
Yeah.
Blue collar, they call them.
I think they were playing
everything.
Ookie Gookie Cookie, but not in a competitive form. They were just doing it.
Like as like a
Probably.
family tradition.
Yeah, yeah.
That should be an Olympic sport. Can you imagine?
Oh,
Who?
yeah.
What country would come first? Let me guess.
Oh, like when you mean?
When? I'll
Yeah.
tell you who
Come
will come
first.
first. It's got to be a European, like Italy.
your
Italy
people.
or Greece.
But like, so you're thinking like, because they're so horny?
and they're open and they're fluid.
Yeah.
But
So
like
wait, they're
somebody
losing or
pent
they're winning?
Up. They're gonna come first, but somebody's
So they're
pent
losing.
up.
No, you win.
Well, who?
Well, I guess in your mind is eating the cookie the winner.
Oh yeah, I guess. Yeah, you're right. Okay.
You thought that was the
Oh.
winner? You thought it was last to come?
I
Just
don't know
guys
what I-
stroking as
you're
slowly
never
as
you're
they-
never going home again.
It's like those video games you talk about where it's like, can you last? You won't last 3 seconds.
I know they're always so.
I would
aggressive.
love in this world
You won't last 3
that there's a bunch of guys out there, they got no prospects, their dreams didn't come true, no money, and then someone says, guys, new competition, a new thing you could be the best at, come in the quickest, no matter what.
Come in the
Yeah,
quickest.
coming the quickest.
And then the guy that loses is like, he's like I'm gonna say something so gross, but like your cum comes out of your country's colors,
Oh,
right? Do you know what I mean? Like France
I
comes
know what you
out.
mean.
Mine's
blue
just the
and-
white, no red or blue.
yeah.
right?
You?
And
I'm
the,
wondering how you could do that. How you could dye it.
and the guy that loses, he's just mad because he's kind of like racist against a country that he has to eat his cum now.
Oh,
Sure.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. I know I'm trying not to be racist right now, but like, what's a country like? Like people are pissed because now they have to eat Russian cum,
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Russia's the one we can go after.
Yeah.
right? Like he's
Yeah.
fine. He's fine with like Chilean cum.
You eat that Russian cum, you probably get drunk.
Pissed about the Russian cum though. It's killing him inside.
I want to call my brother and see if he knows what Ookie Cookie Cookie is because we went to
Okay.
an all-boys school.
You didn't though.
I didn't, but no. I went to like the hippy dippy, wear whatever, teach your first name.
Oh wow.
Teach your first name.
Wow.
Which looking back, you're like, okay, shut the fuck up. It's not that big a deal. But they talked about it a lot.
Oh no, that's wild. You went to like youth camp, but without a religion.
Yeah,
You just went to camp.
sure. We'll
Do you
keep
think
talking.
do you think he'll answer?
He's not answering.
Oh,
What the
he sent
fuck?
you right to
Hey, does your
voicemail.
brother?
Do you think he's playing it right now?
Is he into theater? Your brother?
No. I think he'd sooner eat a cum cookie.
He is screening your
See
call.
if it comes.
Okay.
Okay. Let's see what we got to look at the. Okay, good. We're doing good.
Okay.
All right. So we talked about religion. Let's talk about before we go into our next section, horses. Horses, because
Guys, I'm such a wannabe.
I hate horses.
You hate because you're your dad.
Yeah, because of my dad.
How? They are such a majestic creature.
I don't hate horses. I hate the lifestyle. It's everything that I'm. There's just shit everywhere. To me, horses were such a strange thing because it's such a mix of like people with insane money and people who are like just struggling. They live as well as the horse does. And I didn't like it. My dad tried to get me to ride. Basically, what happened is this: I wasn't an athletic kid. My dad tried to get me to ride. I had one lesson. The horse moved fast. I hit my balls. I cried, and I never rode a horse again. And I had a kind of dad who would go, "You don't want to do it anymore? Fine, we'll never do it again." He loved horses. He loved them. He was obsessed with them. And I think some horse people just want a mammal that's bigger than them, that doesn't judge them for the kind of human being that they are. Their parents are dead. They don't have anyone who knows them on a human level goes, "You're a piece of shit." And they need something, unlike a dog, which is smaller than them normally, they need something bigger than them to get the feeling of a caretaker that's a mammal that they can relate to. And that's why they love a horse.
And yeah, okay, that's interesting.
I totally agree with you.
Uh-huh.
Also, it's an animal that you, as human society, we've deemed that you have every right to control. And you're a failure if you don't control them.
Uh-huh.
So it's like, this is Sparta. I've broken you. And now you're my remote control.
Yes.
I tell you to go left, you go left. I tell you to go right, you go right. And it's like a weird like control situation. That's the part of horses that I've recently gotten into because I've always said they were majestic creatures. But when I started riding and then kind of like, I'm like, I don't think that they enjoy being ridden as much as we assume they do.
Really?
Yeah.
What? Just because you feel them like tugging and going like, stop.
Yeah. You've heard the sighs. As soon as you like start to you bring the saddle out, they're like, "God damn it!
Yeah.
How many more years of this shit?"
Oh, God.
I mean, that horse
Don't you
bit.
think? The bit has got to be horrendous.
Yeah.
Like, yes, that's got to be, and that's how they're pulling you.
Do you think though there's like one or two like kinky horses that are really into it?
Yeah.
They're like, they're like, "You sure you want me to go left? You sure you want me to go left? You sure you want me to go left? I'm gonna go right. Ooh, pull me, daddy. Pull me, daddy. Pull me, daddy." I don't think. I mean, you think about it. It's kind of you think about it. That was your life. Just somebody, and they also the effed up thing is they're like, "I sold my horse." Like a horse has like 7 different owners in its lifetime, and as you get older, they just get smaller and smaller because as you get older, they're like, "Well, now I'm just gonna sell it to a 7-year-old because he's old and can't do much." So as you get older, you just have to deal with like shittier younger girls who've now owned you.
Sure.
Oh,
That's.
wow.
I know I love horses, but I do think that their lives are a bit tragic.
I've never thought about it.
You're
Are
so
there
sad.
Are there wild horses still?
Yeah.
Where are
But
they?
where are they?
West. Truly, I drove from Colorado to Texas recently, and I saw a ton of Mustangs.
Really?
Uh-huh.
They just
Yeah.
run around.
Yes.
But you
They
got
run
to
around-
keep away.
People.
Yeah, they're
do
mean.
people-
They're like kangaroos.
Oh, really?
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever been on a horse?
When I was young,
Yeah.
like
I'd go
I
horse
had-
riding again.
Yeah,
I mean,
when
I'm
was very
so
young.
scared. Christopher Reeves.
What?
Oh.
It's not gonna. It's
What
either-
happened to him?
Yeah, but like you're going on like if you're going horseback riding, you're going on a broken horse.
Do you have
The
a horse right now?
spirit has broken. No, I wish I did. I don't know if I would ride it though. I think if I rode it, I would like I would have to ask it.
Uh-huh.
I don't say this ironically.
And
I
if
would
it said,
have to ask it.
you
I-
go, okay.
I go, okay, maybe we try tomorrow. And then when I do ride it, I'm bareback. Like I don't want to put a bit into it. And we're just feeling each other. You know what I mean? Like I'm laying on it.
Yeah.
And like we're going where you want to go. Like I don't think I could like. I
There's-
know this is so effed up.
Yeah,
No,
no,
it's
I know what you
nice.
mean. There's nice. Yeah, there was this really sad, beautiful movie about a boy and his horse, and I can't remember the title. It came out a few years ago, and it was I watched
search
it
movie Boy
on
and
a
His Horse?
plane.
You watched how to plane.
I cried so hard. It was about like this boy who was rescuing this horse that was going to be put down or something, and he like it's like about his journey like across the country,
Yeah.
like trying to thing, and he's like meeting all these people, and it, oh my god, Pete, I forget the name of it, but anyways,
That wasn't a horse. That
fucked
was
me.
Pete Davidson.
It fucked me up. It
Oh.
was
But
like.
Did the horse
It was
die at the
Pete-
end?
Was it
I
Pete
don't wanna-
Mulaney?
No, I don't want to.
Well, clearly, if
I
you
don't wanna
cried,
give a
it's not like the
spoiler.
horse like
It
won
does.
the
No, but
race.
like there was one of those things all along the way. It's like this
What is
boy
it?
just.
Is it Flash?
No, that's not it.
No.
There's Pete in the title, I think. So anyways,
It's called Petered Out. And
Yeah.
it peters out at the end.
Lean on Pete.
Lean on Pete.
Yes.
Lean on
on
Pete. I've never
Teenager
heard of
gets
this
a
movie.
summer job working for a horse trainer and befriends the fading racehorse.
Yes.
Oh
it's
my
like,
god, it's like a Lifetime movie, but instead of
But it's like an A24 version. It's like beautifully shot and
Really?
like it's very
The horse lies are. You know what happens when a horse wins the Kentucky Derby?
what?
Basically, now they just what is it called?
they breed.
They
just,
breed. They
get
basically
their
just
sperm.
people pay $500,000 so they bring the horse over and he comes in the horse and they bring him. They just make as many babies as they can.
Sometimes they're buying $1 million sperm and it doesn't even turn into a baby.
I think-
Did you hear what I just
Oh my
said?
God.
Do you guys? You think you're worth something?
You know what really rich people
You
do?
guys-
They play ookie cookie cookie with horse cocks.
They do.
And it's a big cookie too. It's like one of those big black and white
I think
cookies.
if you want that sperm that bad, you're gonna pay that money. You should have to jerk that horse off. You should have to go and do that. Like if you want it that bad, you should have to go through with it. You should have to pay the money, and you should have to physically do it.
bare hands.
Bare hands.
Oh god, that horse is. It's gonna take forever.
No, it's so quick. Have you ever seen Mr. Hands?
You
No.
know what? I've never seen Mr. Hands.
You've never seen
Why?
Mr.
Did
Hands?
you almost gag about that?
Doesn't that? What is
Okay,
that?
so can I ask? I have a not a PR question, a HR
HR.
question.
yeah.
So, part of me is like, you've never seen Mr. Hands.
No, but I've heard about
We
it.
should just watch
No,
Mr. Hands.
wait. Doesn't someone die?
No,
Yeah,
no.
eventually.
After.
I don't want to watch.
You've
that.
never seen Mr.
I
Hands?
absolutely want to watch it.
Can you close your eyes?
No, I don't want to watch it.
Oh my god, I absolutely.
Oh,
want
you
to watch
guys.
Let's
Get-
not watch it.
Yeah, let's not watch it. Let's not watch it, gang.
You guys, have you ever heard of Mrs. Smiley? It's opposite of Mr. Hands.
What
I
is
remember
that?
I took that line from you because you said in high school it'd be like, hey, you want to come over and watch a crime?
Yeah.
What's Mrs. Smiley? The guy fucks the horse?
Yes.
No.
Oh,
Yeah.
No, really?
Yeah. And guess what?
Which do you feel worse for, this horse or that horse?
That horse.
That horse.
No, that horse. I don't really feel bad for that horse because that horse just like it just it had a fun time. Like that horse doesn't know. It doesn't have a conscience. It doesn't. It's just it's an animal mating. Like it doesn't.
You might know on some level. There might be some shame involved.
I
You
think
think
Michael
that
Che had the bit. He said, but we eat animals. I mean, not in horses, but he's like,
Yeah,
he was like, fucking
yeah.
animals. Like, sure, but we eat them. If you told me I had to pick between being eaten or fucked,
That's true.
I'm picking fucked.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
I just
I'm
saw-
taking getting eaten.
I just
Oh,
saw.
yeah?
I was around cows last week. You know, when I was in Texas.
They're so horny.
Are they horny? Mm-hmm. I didn't experience that, but they were.
They were not into it?
Deeply unhorny around me. No, but it was one of those things where it's so weird because there's not a lot of people around in where I was, so you'd like go on a walk and you'd like just see cows like in the behind the fences. But I want to get to them, but no, but they would stop what they're doing and they just stare at you.
Yeah.
And then like they would kind of like so curiously come over to you. But they were kind of, it was just, I'm like, there's seemingly a lot going on in there. Like they're not just, didn't seem like dumb animals.
I know.
And it really fucked with my head because then I would like go and have a really good barbecue or
Dude.
like
Same day.
and yeah, and you're like, but they're all, because they're in Texas, they're all beef cattle. Like they're all gonna be
Yeah.
turned into beef. But I was like, God, these are very interested, thoughtful creatures. Curious.
Yes.
They'd be like, who is this person walking on this walk? And they'd like follow. If you kept walking, they would as a group all stare at you the whole way. And then if you stopped, they would come over to you. Did your brother call?
Yeah, my brother called.
Okay.
I have. Oh, are we talking to him? I have a weird philosophy
Hi,
about that.
can we talk to you on the podcast? Well, I just have a question. If you had heard of a concept because you went to an all-boys school. Okay. All right. You're on speakerphone. You're here with Russell, Katherine, producer
Hi.
Lucas.
Hi.
Did you, when I was in high school, we heard that the boys' high schools did something called Ookie Gookie Cookie. So you know what that is.
Yeah, I wouldn't necessarily say that's like necessarily just a boys' school thing.
What?
Well.
what do you mean? The girls were doing it too?
That's like no, but I think that's like a thing at public schools for like football teams and stuff like that.
So do you think someone actually did it? Did you ever hear about someone actually doing it?
I don't know if I know specific stories of people, but I mean, I highly doubt that no one's done it. I think people have definitely.
Okay, we got it.
What was it,
know that
football or was it
people have
other
done
teams?
Worse shit than that for like fraternities and stuff. So it's not like
What's worse? What's worse than
charities.
cookie? For charity? Did you just say?
not for charity. What? No.
Oh, Russell thought you said for charity.
No.
For the
I mean,
children.
honestly, I would give
for
a lot
St.
more money than
Jude's.
like a half marathon. I would give a lot more money to the cookie competition.
I would place bets.
What's something worse that you heard?
I mean, I know someone that was in a fraternity where a kid died. So
Oh.
So they just, it was just first one to get stabbed dies.
Butt chugging.
Butt chugging.
I mean, yeah, but also just the shit that some of those kids have to do.
All right.
Yeah.
It's not, pleasant.
Was there any rules about what kind of cookie it had to be, like oatmeal?
I never participated in one,
Okay.
so
You just didn't
I
want to get
think
one that
it's more
gets
of a,
soggy quick.
Like
Sure.
if you're hosting, I think you provide the cookie.
Good to know.
probably.
Good to know. Because I want to do a game night when I get to LA.
Yeah.
Well, you
Can you
gotta
imagine?
make
Find me a
sure
game night. I'll
Categories.
participate in.
They're like, is it gluten free?
You gotta make sure no one has a peanut allergy.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's so
You'd be like,
smart. Is that technically not vegan?
I guess not. No. Well, thanks, Jojo. This is your first time on the pod, and what a great way to come on.
I
Add it to
can't
your
wait for
bio.
next time.
Love you. Bye, honey.
Did you say bye, hun?
Bye, honey.
You said bye, honey, to your brother.
I talk to anyone that I say honey to you.
You do, yeah.
You do?
Yeah.
Oh god,
It's my dad.
Is it your dad says honey
Yeah, he's just a honey, sweetheart.
to other males?
Uh-huh.
Wow, that threw
I'd be
me
more
for
like
a
I'd have
is
to be
that
I'd have
like
to be
a-
very close to like a. There's women I would say it to if we were close.
Only
I would
males?
never call you honey or sweetheart unless we knew each other way better.
Can I be honest?
Uh-huh.
Maybe it's a southernness in me. I love it.
You do?
I don't see it as like a degrading, putting you down, putting you in like a box. I love it.
Sure.
Gives me butterflies. It's like a soft tingle on your arm.
I would feel such shame if a woman was like, I'm not your sweet. Like, I know a couple.
yeah.
Not that it's not that many women, but some women who would have that reaction to it, and
Yes.
I would rather die than feel that feeling.
I don't know. It is so disarming to me. I'm like, oh, I feel. The minute you call me honey, I'm like, I'm about to get my cookout order at 3 a.m. Like, there's like, I'm so happy. This is like pure bliss. I don't know what it. I think that's the southern.
Sure.
But and then
Good
you
to know.
saying it to a guy was, I was shooketh.
In which way? You were like, you're going to turn to a pillar of salt?
Yes, and I was like, oh, I can't believe your brother has ever answered a phone call of yours. Like
Sure.
that was. Does he call you honey?
No. My brother is on the straight and narrow.
Wow.
I think. Who I can't tell with my brother whether he like hates it. Like, I give him a hug and a bunch of kisses, and I don't know
A bunch of kisses.
a bunch of kisses,
a bunch of kisses.
a bunch of kisses.
There was a teacher when I was growing up in elementary school, and she was famous for giving sloppy kisses. She would call it, and she'd just like go up to kids, give them sloppy kisses, and that would not.
What do you mean?
Fly these days?
What's a sloppy kiss?
I think she'd just give them kisses on cheeks, and she'd be like, "It's time for sloppy kisses," and she would just like go up and like kiss like second graders, that she had.
You know, it was such a beautiful time back then.
And also
I miss those
there's no
days.
level that she was a pedophile or anything like that.
Yeah.
But it is like a funny thing of like that was just like something she was known for. She gives sloppy kisses to all the children, and
You hear what you said? You're defending it, and I'm like, guess why? I don't want to live in a world where she cannot give sloppy kisses to the children.
I think
I want my child to have sloppy kisses
Yeah.
from Mrs. Diddleberry.
Yeah.
I can remember again, I'm not saying this is the better world, but pre the Me Too movement, yoga teachers used to make so many adjustments.
Yes,
and it was
adjust
like,
me.
and now like there's yoga classes where they give you a little sticker. You can put it like, touch me, don't touch me. But even if you
I
do touch
loathe
me,
that. Put it
where
I
you wanna
surround
be
it. I get
touched.
5 of those stickers. I say, please. And
I
they don't do it anymore. They'll make one adjustment. And I'm like, I totally can appreciate wanting to have a world where people who don't want to be touched shouldn't have to be touched, of course.
Yeah.
But I also feel like I wish there was a way to be like, I am
Need
okay.
touch. I need touch.
I like touch.
F me up.
Yeah.
Fuck me up.
F
Kisses.
fuck me up.
Give me those sloppy kisses.
Give me those sloppy kisses.
Yeah. Tell me to put my ass down and give me a sloppy kisses.
Give me a sloppy kiss. I took an all naked yoga class once.
Really?
Yeah.
Wait,
Where?
can you touch then? There's no touching then.
There probably was no touching.
Were you
God,
in
I
the
would
back,
love they're
back line or
adjusting your
front line?
hips and their dick is
I
just
was
a
in the
little
middle.
bit grazing your cheeks as
What?
they're like
They're
you're
straddling you for this? Sure. I think the teacher might have had on, maybe they were naked.
If
was
I'm
a-
naked, you're naked.
It was a hard enough class. I would do it again. God, when did I do this? It was pre-COVID, that's for sure.
Wait, I actually I love that you did it. I could never do it because of just being naked around people is a little bit freeing, but like you're widening those parts.
Yeah.
The butthole, the anus, the
How big-
when
how-
you're,
how-
when
how
you're
big a
doing
room-
that
how
move,
big a
everyone's
room?
doing that move.
How big a room are we
So
talking
when you're in
about?
downward dog, there's no one standing behind going,
Oh, you know
"Damn."
those perverts in the back row.
I'm
just
looking
looking up.
around.
What's the point of doing it if you're not going to get some looks?
Yes.
I think it's probably cultivated like listen, I'm sure there is a class where someone says, "Hey, that guy's being weird." Why
They
is
go-
why is that old lady giving us sloppy kisses
Downward-
while we're in downward dog?
Downward dogs, tongues up, eyes down.
Yeah.
Let's go on to our next segment. This has got to stop.
Wait, can I? Never
Yeah.
mind. Sorry.
No.
I just wanted to tell you about the cow thing really
Oh,
fast.
yeah,
for it.
please.
Because of that, I don't eat cows or pigs.
Oh.
This is kind of an effed up philosophy, I know.
No,
it's
no,
like
no.
I'm contradicting myself because I think that they have more of a consciousness,
Mm-hmm.
but I do eat chickens and turkeys because I think birds are less intelligent and therefore may have less of a soul. That's it.
Sure. That's what Descartes said.
In my perfect world, I would not eat any of them, but I just haven't gotten there yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's not
Yeah,
a
we say
perfect
that.
world.
I think like when people are vegan, I do think they have a little more room to be an asshole in other areas of their life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do. I
agree
think
with
there
that.
should be a little bit more room.
Yeah, they can touch you naked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They
They
can
can give you sloppy
sloppy
kisses. So sloppy kisses vegan.
What are you touching
Sloppy
me?
kisses
I'm
vegans.
vegan.
I'm vegan.
Come here.
Harvey Weinstein, you're not vegan. Who are you kidding? This has got to something that needs to go away, come to an end. I'll go first. I stayed at a hotel recently, and some woman at the front desk, as you're leaving, was like, "Oh, as your first day here, we have a gift." And you fall for that hook, and they go, well, because first time here, we give you 500 points in the Hilton, whatever the fuck. And you look it up, that's worth 25 cents. And then they go, by the way, we have a new deal where like you can pay for 4 nights in advance for the year, and then it's this rate, and you can cancel any time. And so you're basically roped into a thing. And then you go, oh, I didn't know what this was. I have to go to breakfast. And then she goes, oh, do you know when you'll be back at the hotel? And so now suddenly you're making up lies because you just don't want to deal with this person.
Yeah.
And they're being really pushy about it, and you feel bad. And suddenly you're going back to the hotel, and you see them, and they're at the desk. And me and Tova, we're running past them as fast as we possibly can.
Yeah.
And I just cannot stand feeling like I paid for a thing and you're trying to scam me on top of it. I feel like you already got me. I'm already paying way too much money for this shit room.
Yeah.
They do this at resorts. Like Tova and I, we went to Mexico, and it was like a resort, and we paid a lot of money. And there's like a thing of, well, you could get an extra $50 gift certificate at the spa if you sit through the thing,
Yes.
but then we have to give you a phone call, and you're just like, get out of here. You're
How
gonna.
willing are you to be tortured?
Oh, it's all. I sit through it, and I'm not rude, and I listen to their spiel, and inside I'm like, leave me alone, leave me alone, leave me alone, leave me alone, and I hate it, and I wish you could report it, and I wish it was like not a practice that was allowed.
Yeah.
You don't say no initially, though.
No, I just like, she says, so 500 points, that's great. By the way, and I go, uh-oh.
Yeah.
And then I listen for the whole thing. And then I go, I got to go to breakfast. When will you be back?
Yeah. This is not part of the trip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't make me have this
You
feeling.
want to look at her and go, "Do you have a heart?
Yeah.
Where did your heart go?
You're
Did you
like-
put your heart in the cubby? You know I don't like this. Does this hurt you to do
But
to
she
me?"
must
Sure.
be trying to get some sort of.
Oh, she gets kickback for sure.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah, for
So
sure.
it's
I
just
worked
like-
at Old Navy. We had to
Yeah.
sell a credit card,
Oh,
and you know why? You know who you go after. You go after the people who's like you can see them sweating when their card gets swiped. Like they're, you know what I mean?
That's
They're the
evil
people
shit.
with bad money. You're like,
Yeah.
these are the people I'm gonna get.
I don't blame the individual employee. That's their job. I think hotels need to make that not a thing anymore.
Yeah.
I hate it.
Yeah.
Do you have this guy stop?
Yeah, this has got to stop. Okay, Spotify is wrapped for people.
Careful.
Listen,
Careful.
no, not the whole thing. Listen, a very specific thing about it.
We like Spotify.
We love Spotify, but I have one adjustment for Spotify Wrapped, and that is this: people in the musical theater industry in New York City, we should be able to have a feature on the Spotify Wrapped where, if we've been auditioning for certain shows that don't cast us, and we use a song and we're practicing with that song, I don't at the end of the year need to see a whole cemetery of songs that I don't really like.
Oh
Here's
my
all
God.
the parts you
Here's
didn't
all the
book
parts
this
you
year.
didn't get, Russell.
Oh my God, it's like
And
love
your
letters from your ex.
Top 5 songs, and you're like, I don't, and also the thing about it that's so offensive is like, if I didn't have that audition before and right before I had the audition, and then the moment I found out I'm not moving forward with a callback or a final, whatever it is.
Yeah.
I would have been like, that's the biggest piece of shit song in the world. Like, it's a dog shit song. So much of musical theater, modern musical theater, is dog shit. No offense to all the wonderful shows playing on Broadway, but it's just like, hey, remember this song? And you're like, oh my God, I listened to that song 118 times in that 2-week period. Like, because you're practicing.
And they'd even let you get to the
Yes.
8th bar.
And so there's this thing of like, we should have a feature on Spotify Wrapped where if you're a musical theater actor where you're doing that kind of thing, you can be like, oh, I'm selecting this song to don't pay attention to the
Don't
numbers
count it
on
to the
this.
record.
This is not who I am. This is me doing some work right now.
Yes.
And I don't want it counted toward my thing being like, and then in July and August, you were really into Broadway and the West End. No, I wasn't. I had 2
You were trying
different
to get
things.
into it.
I was
Right.
trying.
Build
and
us
I
to
am
the
very much
company.
not in it right now. So just anyways, that's a feature I think we should enable so we don't feel as bad every year. Now 3 years in a row. Well, actually, the other years there's been like a thing being like, oh, I did get that thing. I don't listen to that song a lot, but this time around it was brutal.
We want Spotify incognito mode.
Yeah, sometimes.
Yes.
Just I think you should be able to
There you
select.
go.
You should be able to select. Don't count this thing towards my soul.
Can I ask what songs
Right.
were on there?
Yeah.
I don't
Yes.
want to. Because there's no way of doing it without
You don't want to sing it?
shitting on something that I didn't get. But
Sure.
You don't want to hum a bar.
I wouldn't even. It's not memorable enough a song to hum. Let me tell you that much.
How many tracks were from Elf the Musical?
Actually, that wasn't in there. But
All the Who's in Whoville love the.
I love that you get narrator, an angry narrator.
All the Who's in Whoville.
Whoville.
I'm on the Grinch's side. That should be the version where the Whoville, it's like a Trump, where the people are like, we actually like the Grinch.
Yeah.
We've gotten a little
Yes.
carried away
We
with the whole
actually
Christmas thing.
really like
Yes.
the Grinch. Yeah.
Is Trump the Grinch?
I mean, in that we hope his heart grows so big that it
Yeah.
blows.
And he gets stuck in a chimney forever.
Diva, this got to stop.
Okay. Yes. And then let me explain. This has got to
Sure,
stop
that's a general premise.
the Body Shop because is that where the Bath and Body the candles?
Oh
Yeah.
Bed
Yeah.
Bath.
Bath
no,
and Body
Body-
Works.
Bath
Body
and
Works.
Body
Bath and
Works.
Body Works.
Bath and Body
The
Works.
Body
Body
Shop.
Works.
I was
Bath and
like,
Body Works.
auto.
I thought
organics?
that.
Bath and Body
Yeah.
Works.
It's like fucking
This
redneck
is-
over here.
What that is? Do you know what that is? That's the headquarters for junk gifts for Christmas.
Oh.
This is a seasonal. I don't want any more. If you feel obligated to give me a gift, do not give me junk. I don't want a nasty candle. I don't want nasty lotion. I don't want anything that's face masks. I don't want anything that's going to give me a headache and is going to collect dust. And I feel bad that you give it to me, but it's kind of something that I can't throw away, but it's something I'll never use, and I just have to put it in a drawer for the rest of my life. Do not give me junk this holiday season. Do not give me give me the gift of minimalism. If you feel obligated to give me a gift and it's junk. If you're going to TJ Maxx for my gift, don't go. Do you guys, I feel like you guys
Is there
don't
a good
get
candle
junk.
Though? Is there a nice candle? Is
Listen,
there a
we
nice
were just
lotion? Is
gifted
it-
on this podcast the other day face cream, and I was gonna say it's been nice. I've been using it.
You have?
Well, yeah.
That's good. That's good. But you know what I'm talking about? Like, a good candle is Anthropology, and I'm using it for the print and the color.
Okay.
Do not give me cherry blossom standard white candle.
Yeah, I get
From
that.
Marshalls.
Okay, I get that. Yeah.
Do not give me something that the tag does not come off all completely, and a little bit of the Marshalls logo is always going to be stuck on there somewhere. Do not, I don't think guys get obligatory junk
I
gifts
don't
as
think
much
so
as girls
as much.
do.
Yeah.
Girls will literally walk through TJ Maxx or Marshalls and grab like 7 $4 things and put it in a bag and give it to a girl and pat themselves on the back and be like, look at this, look at the waste of time you had, look at the waste of money, and you've just transferred it to this other girl who's going to feel bad when she moves in 3 years and opens up this drawer and is like, oh, I never used this charcoal mask that this girl bought on sale. It's trash and it's gross and we have to stop.
All right. That's a good one.
That's a good one.
That's a good
Thank
holiday
you.
theme. This has got to stop. Let's go into our final segment.
You better count your blessings.
You better count your blessing. Russell, what are you thankful for?
I'm thankful. I can tell the podcast is growing because people are sending me a lot of tips and a lot of thoughts on things I've said. And I'm at a point right now where I enjoy that, learning about why I'm wrong about things. A lot of composting things. I'm sorry I've offended people with my
Good, that
thoughts
clip's
on
coming out tomorrow.
composting.
You're going to get even more soon. That we made that clip.
And so I'm learning a lot. No, but
Russell basically came on the podcast was like, recycling sucks. I don't
No.
like it. It's an inconvenience to me. Essentially.
I also feel like a lot of people who are pro it aren't living in a 650 square foot apartment in New York City. But anyways, listen, I'm learning. No, I actually do enjoy. It makes me feel like
Don't you backpedal on this.
No. I feel like the people that have reached out so far, for the most part, on this, not Israel Palestine stuff, but the people who reached out on this
enjoyed
particular
hearing the
thing,
Zionist
or
perspective.
there was a body thing recently, a body shaming thing. Someone reached out to me about. I think they're coming from a very good place, and it's like, hey, I really like the podcast, and here are some of the things I'd like to share with you that I feel like is nice to be like, oh, people do
Yes.
listen, people are listening, and are sharing thoughtful things, and actually really, it makes me feel like, oh, more people listen than I think, and
Yes.
and I like that right now. I mean, it could tip very
More,
easily
yeah.
into the annoyed category soon, but I.
A lot of people are disgusted with you.
Yes,
More than
yes.
you ever thought possible.
Yes, and I've gotten lately some DMs like from telling me things like sexual things. A couple people. I don't
I'm
mean.
Drew Barrymoring you right now. Yes, honey. Yes, honey.
And it's been surprising of like, oh, that happens to people. You must get it all
Yeah,
the time.
yeah.
People must be sending you things all the time.
Me?
Yeah.
No. I feel like I'm entering a new, I hope this doesn't come off in a braggy way. I'm entering a new level of enough stuff's happening on social media that there's some people who do not like me in a
awesome.
visceral way.
Yeah.
And so I got this tweet. I didn't know if I should say it. So someone did this quote tweet. So the blessing part of this, this is from on the Reddit. I'm doing my first listen through of the podcast, picking up where I left off the last time. I found that some of the best episodes start with guests saying they're a positive person and they don't know how they're going to be negative. I have noticed for a lot of them, they are the ones who bring some of the heaviest stories, and they have sometimes such poignant things to say regarding pushing through and coming out the other side. It's just a good example of what makes the show so unique when you give people the license to just tell their stories and really get into the nitty-gritty with no shame or judgment. It's also been so interesting to see how Russell and Gianmarco have developed their interview styles and how they can get people to open up so honestly to them. Yeah, so it's just, I think this is like a moment for Christmas as we get to the end of the year, and we've had a bunch of Patreon subscribers that, and we get the Spotify Wraps and see people who are listening. That, this podcast, building it building a podcast, as you know, it's in this today's marketplace. It's a long, arduous journey. You have to love doing it, and you have to love the people you work with, and those people who do listen and who do engage. You make it worth it because financially, it's not worth it for a long, long time. And we hope to get to a place where we can make enough money that we do Venmo homeless people. But
that's on you, listeners.
But we appreciate those of you who listen, those of you who go back. Join the Patreon if you care for the holidays. And if not, we still enjoy you listening. And that's my blessing is the Debbie Downsiders.
Yeah.
Do you have
Beautiful.
a blessing?
Mine's going to be so shallow after that.
I know it's
no.
tough. I really did.
Well, I'm going to go the most shallow then.
Sure.
My blessing is hair extensions.
It's great.
I got them.
Are you having them right now?
Oh my God, I've had them since March.
Where does it start?
I have 2 wefts in the middle of the back of my head. But it's so funny, like, when they start growing out, you can definitely see this weft at this one little part where I have a calic. So, like, towards the end of the 10 weeks, like, I'm no one stands behind me. Like, I start to maneuver myself where I'm always, like, it's almost like I have OCD, where I'm always front-facing.
Yeah.
But, like, the world has just really opened up to me, and I have embraced the fact that your body is that you were born with was mere just a suggestion. And we're living in 2024, and we can reshape our face and grow our hair and be taller or shorter or however we want. And it's a beautiful world to live in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So listen, if you don't like anything about yourself, go get it fixed. You can.
You can.
If
And you
you're
should.
not-
And you should.
And you should.
You should.
Some of you should be shorter. Some of you should be taller.
Yeah.
Take care of it.
Longer or wider.
What was that?
Wider or thinner.
Okay, dear God, I thought you said whiter, and I was like,
Oh
we gotta
my
cut
God,
that.
okay.
We'll keep the Mr. Hands in. We'll
Yeah.
take that out. Where can people find you?
At It's Katherine Blanford on all the social medias, and I have a special out free on YouTube, Catholic Cowgirl. A lot of
Catholic.
Catholic, a lot of horses. Horses on stage.
Horses on stage. Great. Russell, where can people find
Yeah,
you?
please follow me on Instagram at Russell J. Daniels. Also, The Downside is going to be on tour. We are going to Vancouver, Chicago, and then the West Coast in.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, you want
You
to
started out so strong.
I know I did, didn't
We're going to be in Vancouver for
In
Just
January.
for Laughs at the Biltmore Theater. It is big.
It's big. Vancouver, come out.
It is big. I'll be there doing a Silver Lining too after that. And then we're going to be in Chicago. First show is doing well. We'll probably at a second. Seattle, we just added a second show. We sold it out 3 months early. It's fantastic.
Amazing.
San Francisco, Portland it was a 280 seater, and I was like, I'm scared for the podcast.
Yeah.
And we already sold 90. We'll sell
Amazing.
that shit out.
Yes.
Hollywood
Thank you,
Improv,
Portland.
San Francisco, San Diego. Join the Patreon. We love you guys.
Yeah.
And for me, Christmas, I'm going to be at Stamford Comedy Club, New York Comedy Club in Stamford, Connecticut at the end of the year. If you're in New York, come to the Bell House show. It's my first time at the Bell House. We got a lot of special guests, including Jay Jordan and Tina Frimmel. We got music. It's at 7 p.m., so you can go have a good time, get drunk, laugh, listen to some music. I'm still trying to figure out a way if I can sing at the end, and then go to your parties. And I was going to come up with a redneck.
I have it.
Go for it.
Have a beautiful, snowy, white trash Christmas.
Yeah.
This is The Downside.
You're listening to The Downside
The Downside.
with Gianmarco Soresi.